The Toro Company acquires the maker of Spartan zero-turn mowers, and Milwaukee enters the battery-powered lawnmower market. I found another professional athlete that appreciates lawn care, and big changes are beginning to happen in my backyard. It's another full episode of the Cherish Each Mowment podcast. All right, let's get right into it. Got a couple of news stories here to talk about, and then it's on to some other fun things. I want to start off with a little bit of news from the Toro Company. Toro is very well known in this household. A lot of my products are Toro products. I am partnered with the Toro Group, Toro Company. And if you haven't heard, Toro has acquired the Intimidator Group. And the Intimidator Group is a company that makes the Spartan zero-turn mowers. They made this acquisition for about $400 million, which, depending on relevance, is a lot of money. For me, that's a lot of money. But they obviously saw value in this and saw value in the acquisition, so it's very exciting. This could potentially bring more zero-turn mowers and zero-turn offerings to Toro's product lineup, which is exciting. Richard Olson, the chairman and CEO of Toro, said, "The addition of Spartan mowers to our portfolio strategically positions us to be an even stronger player in the large and rapidly growing zero-turn mower market." So obviously Toro does see value in this. They see that zero turns are becoming more and more popular, and they want to position themselves to be able to offer more products to consumers. So I think it's cool to see companies that I like making some gains. I don't personally have any experience with Spartan mowers. I believe I may have had the opportunity to test drive some of them at the GIE. Maybe not this time, but one of the times I've been at GIE, I might have had a chance to check out their mowers. I'll have to go back and look through some footage and see what I can find. But yeah, I think it's great. I think this is cool. Hopefully we'll get some more information on this and find out more about what this acquisition means and how it affects the product lineup from Toro, but definitely something to keep an eye on for sure. I would like to have a zero-turn mower at some point in my life. I do have several needs for one. I still have plenty of room in my backyard to use one, and could really cut my mowing time pretty drastically. I already have with my Time Master. Before my Time Master, I was using a 21-inch Husqvarna walk-behind mower, and I mowed my entire yard with it at the time, front and backyard, and that took a couple hours. And now I'm just mowing my backyard with the Time Master, but when I was mowing the whole yard with the Time Master, I could get everything done in about an hour, maybe even less than that if I really pushed it. And even just mowing my backyard now, it takes me about probably 30 to 45 minutes, give or take, depending on what I'm doing and how fast I'm going and things like that. So bringing a zero turn into that equation would probably cut that in half at least. I also sometimes help my father-in-law with his properties. His main property is house. He's on He's on a total of, I think, 5 acres. But the main yard is probably half of that. And he's probably got a good 40,000 square feet-ish of turf. And so I've mowed over there a few times. So having a mower to help out there that I can just take over. His mowers are okay. They're old. They're really old. I've been trying to drop some hints about upgrading, and he just hasn't gone for it just yet. There's still time. But having a nice mower, a nice zero turn to take over there would be nice. And then they have a cabin property about an hour from here that's on a similar square footage, about 40 or 50,000 square feet, that I've mowed several times. I've made some videos up there, and that'd be another good use case for that. So we'll see what happens. Maybe in the future we can add a zero turn to the lineup here at home and start working on some zero turn content. That would be awesome. In other news, and I mentioned this with Justin, the Lawn Whisperer, in the last episode. We talked about this for a minute, but Milwaukee has entered the battery-powered mower market. If you haven't heard, they introduced a new M18 brushless, cordless 21-inch walk-behind mower, which is pretty cool. There's things I like about it, and there's things that I don't really like about it. There's things I think they could have done a little bit better on, and I might have to just go into some more detail later on. But here's my initial thoughts. Let me tell you a little bit about it, and then as I go, I'll just kind of mention what I think. So it's powered by dual M18 batteries, and it comes with 2 of them. It comes with 2 12-amp-hour batteries. These are big batteries. Just to kind of put that into perspective, the largest battery that Toro offers right now that I'm aware of is a 7.5 amp-hour battery. And the new 2-stage 60-volt snowblower that they just launched can hold 3 of those. These are 12 amp-hour batteries. So this will take 2 12 amp-hour batteries, and it does require you to have 2 batteries to operate it. And it does support all M18 batteries. So if you have different sized M18 batteries, that's okay. You can still use those, which is pretty cool. I like that backwards compatibility. Here's one thing I'm a little surprised by. The expected battery life for these 2 12 amp hour batteries on a full charge is about 1 hour. 1 hour. And it looks like the charge time for those is an hour and a half. Now, like I said, just mowing my backyard with the Time Master takes me about 30 to 45 minutes. So that's with a 30-inch pass. With these standard walk-behind mowers that don't have the wider deck, you have to overlap your passes. Usually, when you make your pass, you're putting the wheel just inside the wheel mark of your previous pass. So you're losing a couple inches. You're losing about 4 inches each pass just because you have to overlap. Otherwise, you're going to leave a trail of long grass. So that makes it take longer. And to mow my backyard would probably take 45 minutes to an hour, give or take. And if you're mowing, let's see, that's 8,000 square feet, takes you an hour, you can mow 8,000 square feet. So maybe for the average homeowner, and it's a relative term, everybody's got different size properties and different amounts of grass, but if you have less than 8,000 square feet, say you have around the neighborhood of 5,000 square feet, that 1 hour is going to be just fine for you, as long as you remember to keep your batteries charged before the next time you go out and mow. Otherwise, you're going to have an issue. It might even be safe just to have 2 sets of batteries. That way you always have a backup set ready to go, or you're already invested into the Milwaukee tool lineup, the M18 lineup, and you've got some already. You can use those to help you get by. But yeah, if you've got anything over an hour's worth of battery, it's going to take you a little longer if you don't have those extra ones. But it comes with a charger, comes with a bag, and it comes with a rear side discharge chute and a mulch plug. So rear side discharge, that's something else that stood out to me. Rear side discharge is not something I have any experience with. I've always had a side discharge. Rear side discharge sounds kind of funny because it doesn't sound right. It's a side discharge, so you expect it to come out the side. But the way that it works is it comes out the back, and the chute turns the grass so that it actually discharges to the side and not on your legs and your feet. It's just the placement of it is not truly on the side. It's on the rear, and then they make it go to the side. So interesting. I don't know why they decided to do that, but I think maybe having the chute come out the back allows you to have that extra room on the side potentially, so that if you're up against a fence or a tree or something else, a shed, then you don't have to worry about that chute, that plastic chute, getting in the way of anything. Though if you're up against something, you probably want to be discharging the opposite way, because anytime I've discharged into my fence, all those clippings fly up and they just get in your face and you're breathing them in and they're all over you and they're in your hair and So I don't know why a rear side discharge is anything special, or why they wanted to go with that. I don't know. I'll have to see what it looks like. I haven't really seen any pictures of it attached. But as for the mower itself, it has a steel deck, which in my opinion is a big pro. That's great. I think that's wonderful. And I say that because the steel decks on electric mowers help these machines look and feel more like their gas counterparts. All of these companies have the long-term, and in some cases, looking at California, they have a short-term task of boosting consumer confidence in battery-powered equipment. So features like a steel deck and how much power and battery life the machine can offer, those are big selling points for that demographic that is really somewhat against ditching the gas machines. You've got to make these mowers, and really all the equipment that you offer that's battery-powered, you got to make them look, feel, and perform as if they were a gas machine. Otherwise, especially these electric mowers that have these plastic decks and these small, thin, like bendable blades, those are terrible, by the way. If you can't replicate almost identically these machines that consumers are already used to, it's going to be a lot harder for people to want to switch over. And that's obviously just my opinion, but having been messing around with electric equipment over the last couple of years, and I'm really going to be putting a lot more emphasis on it in the upcoming season, especially with handheld tools. These things got to be able to have the power to make it worth replacing the gas. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already subscribed to my main YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Jimmy Lewis Mows, or you can just search Jimmy Lewis Mows or Jimmy Lewis Lawn on YouTube and I'll come up there. But yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with electric equipment this year, looking to hopefully even try out some more electric lawnmowers. We'll see how that goes. And at the very least, I'll be having conversations here on the podcast with people who are also involving themselves in the electric lawn equipment market and get their thoughts and opinions too. So that'll be really fun. Lots to look forward to there. I'm really excited about those conversations and experiences that are not too far down the road. Another feature I like about this mower, it has a single point height adjustment. So there's only one place to adjust the height, and it adjusts the height on all four wheels. And that's nice. That's actually an upgrade from the Time Master. The Time Master is an upgrade from the standard walk behind, because the standard walk behind, you have to adjust the height on every wheel, at least for a lot of models. Maybe some you don't. But all of the the standard walk behinds that I've been around, it's every wheel has its own height of cut adjustment point. The Time Master, it's just on one side. So you adjust the front wheels on one side and you adjust the rear wheels on one side. This one is introducing the single point height of cut adjuster. And that already exists on some other brands and some other models. The one thing I'll say about it is I just wish there was a nicer design to it. Like I said, I've seen this implemented on a couple of different brands, and it's really convenient. I would just like to see it designed a little bit nicer. You just kind of have this bar that comes across the top of the deck on one side that's just there. And I don't want to say it's in the way. It's just, I wish there was a way for them to do it without it being so noticeable. But maybe we'll see something like that down the road. The mower is self-propelled. It's rear-wheel drive, which I like. And the speed is adjustable up to 4 miles an hour. And they're advertising that it can reach full throttle in under 1 second, which is pretty cool if you're racing, I guess. I don't know what the hurry is, but again, I haven't tried it. I don't really have anything to compare it to. I guess the only thing I do have to compare it to is Toro's personal pace, which I think is top of the line superiority. And this, from what I can tell, the accelerator is with your thumbs. So you hold the handle, there's a safety bar, and then you accelerate with your thumbs. So still need to do a little bit more looking in on the details there. But I think that thumb drive system is a familiar concept to some people. And it does give you freedom of speed, and you're not at the mercy of the mower like with just the handle throttle itself. But yeah, they say it can reach full throttle in under a second. And now for power, which I think is, besides design and feel, durability, power is far and away very, very important. So they are claiming that the max torque on this is more than a 200cc gas mower, bringing increased performance against thick and wet grass. I want to test that really bad. That's what I want to see tested. If I can't get my hands on one of these anytime soon, I'm hoping that anybody that does demo these and test these and review these, they test that really well. Test that on the wet, thick, nasty grass. Test it on the tall, thick grass. See how it does. Because in my experience, that torque is what's been lacking, or one of the things that's been lacking on battery-powered mowers. One way I like to test battery mowers is I like to do the vacuum test. So a good example of a use case for that would be cleaning up after dethatching. So you dethatch and you've got all this material over the grass, and you can rake it up with a leaf rake, or you can leak it up. You can rake it up with one of those lawn sweepers, which I found last year to work very well. And then anything left over, you can keep raking up if you want to. That's super tedious. Or you can just take your mower, drop the deck down, and that puts it into, get it as close to as you can to the surface of the grass. And that puts it into what I like to call vacuum mode. And that's enough, at least with gas mowers, they have enough power and torque to create a strong enough vacuum to suck up the majority of the rest of that material and put it into the bag so that you can dispose of it or recycle it or whatever you do with it. So 200cc equivalent with torque, we'll see. Time will tell. This is one of the biggest areas of improvement for these electric lawnmowers, especially in the homeowner market. So I'm really anxious to see how that does. Like I said, I'm hoping to demo this. I think that'd be really fun. I'm not sure it's worth the $9.99 price tag. That's pretty steep. Just from reading through the listing and highlighting these features, I don't think I'd want to pay that. I'd put this in the $750 category, especially targeting this to homeowners. If you want to target to homeowners, like I've already talked about, design, power, price. I think those are the three keys. And $999 seems pretty high end. And if we're going to be making electric lawn equipment the standard in the future, which, as much as I hate to say it, I think it's coming. I don't think $999 should be the standard. I think that's a little too high. So we'll see how it goes. Again, it all comes down to actually trying it out and getting some time with it. But I don't even know if that's going to happen. But from what I can tell, this looks like something that should be in the $750 category. If I would have had to have guessed how much it would have cost. But time will tell. I'm excited to see some demos and some reviews and get some feedback on it and see what other people think. But as for initial impressions, those are mine. One thing I really love about social media is coming across celebrities or famous athletes who either enjoy or can at least appreciate lawn care. One of the most notable athletes that I'm aware of is Mark Leashman. He's a pro golfer from Australia. That guy's a legend. He has a little backyard golf course that he maintains, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy following him on social media. So shout out to Mark. Keep doing what you do. The latest addition to this lineup is Gronk. Rob Gronkowski, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was recently asked after a game about what real job he would get if he wasn't playing football. He responded, and this is a quote, he responded, "I used to cut the lawn growing up, and then I was just walking over here and I saw all the people that take care of our lawn. I'm like, man, that's cool. I've always wanted to do that. You know, the finished product after you mow the lawn." He's absolutely right. The finished product, that fresh cut lawn, the sight, the smell, the feel of it. That's what it's all about. That's how you cherish a moment. So clearly, Gronk gets it. And I like that. There's just something about it. When you actually take some time to appreciate how good the lawn looks after it's been freshly mowed, or if you just lay down on it. I love the smell of grass clippings. I've got a candle up here behind me. That's fresh cut grass. It smells great. And, you know, you can get into even more details like lawn stripes and how to do that. And there's just so much to appreciate. And I'm sure I could ramble on and on and on about this, but I just wanted to highlight Rob Gronkowski and say that I appreciate him saying that. And as someone who's very involved in lawn care and in the online lawn community, thanks to him for mentioning that and appreciating that. That goes a long way. Put a smile on my face, that's for sure. As for what's going on around here, I still haven't had a chance to take my John Deere mower in for sharpening. It's all ready to go. It's sitting in my garage. Everything's there. It's been really busy here. It's been a busy week at work. For those of you who may not know, I work on the Yard Mastery apps engineering team. and we have been working on a pretty sizable update to the app, and we're trying to get it released to pretty much kick off the new year and the upcoming lawn season. So it's a very exciting time for the app, but also very busy. So I'm hoping to get the mower in this next week for sharpening and have it all ready to go for the season. There's still plenty of time. I'm not mad about the fact that I can't take it in. It's on my to-do list, and I've said I was going to do it, and I haven't got it done yet. So I just wanted to keep you updated there. But I will be sure to provide updates as things happen on that experience. Tomorrow is also a big day here at the house. It looks like the high temperatures are going to reach the low 40s, which during the winter months here, that feels pretty warm. And as long as it's not windy outside, it's plenty tolerable to get out and get some things done. So I'm planning on bringing the swing set home from where we have been storing it since October and getting it all put together in the backyard. That was the big Christmas gift for the kids, if you didn't know. We got them a swing set, used swing set. That's in really good shape. I bought it back in October, and it's just been sitting in storage since then. What we did was we wrapped up one of the slides for the kids and had that in the living room for them to open up, and we taped a picture of the whole swing set onto the slide, so when they opened it up, they saw the slide, of course, but then they saw the picture of the whole swing set, so they kind of knew what they were getting. And they're pretty excited about it. I'm a little nervous about it. A swing set, it's going to be a pretty unique obstacle to have to deal with when it comes to maintaining the grass in the backyard. And that's not something I've ever had to deal with before. Even growing up, at the house I grew up in, we did have a swing set at one point, and there was grass in the backyard at one point when there was a swing set. And then we got a new dog, and the dog just tore up the grass back there. And the swing set eventually came out because we probably just stopped using it. And eventually that whole backyard became rocks, river rock. And there was no more grass back there. So I never mowed the lawn back there. I only ever mowed the lawn at that house in the front yard. That was my very first experiences at mowing. So no experience. This is going to be a whole new chapter for me, and we'll have to just kind of see how it goes. I don't initially plan to remove the grass in that area. I know some people will actually section the swing set area off and have different material that it sits in rather than grass. Some people just keep the grass. My sister-in-law takes care of her lawn, and she keeps the grass in the backyard where the swing set is, and looks great. So I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's doable. It's just going to be a new learning experience, and want to see how things go before I decide to remove that grass and replace it with something else. So I'm definitely going to be documenting this on my YouTube channel. So if you are ever in a similar situation, you can maybe learn from the experiences I have. If you have a swing set in your yard and you maintain the lawn around it, I'd be happy to hear any tips you might have. I'm just thinking about mowing around it and having to do the extra trimming work. And I'm wondering how the swing set's going to interfere with the sprinklers and the watering process. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that goes. But that's going down tomorrow. If all goes according to plan. I'm hoping it's a smooth process. It's a lifetime swing set, so getting any replacement parts or hardware is really easy. I've already bought one. There's a net, like a cargo net on the backside that kids can climb up on. And the one that came with the used one I bought was broken, so I bought a new one of those. It was really easy. They shipped it right to my house. And the guys at the store said that if I ever need any replacement bolts or other hardware, that they usually have it there in stock. So that's nice to know too. So another thing, they also have assembly instructions available online. The guy that I bought this from, he didn't have the manual or the instructions anymore. But Lifetime has all of that stuff available online, which is super nice. And I plan on using that extensively. So I will be sure to let you know how that goes and keep you posted on all of that as things happen and as things progress here. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the show. Thank you so much for listening and for cherishing these moments with me. I appreciate it. Until next time, see ya.